Hello and welcome to the River City Open of 2022. It is the second round now, front nine card. We have a brand new card for us today. My name is Zach O'Haron, and on the commentator's mic for me this round, I have Clayton Hodge. How you doing, Clayton?
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
Super excited to see how this card does. We have some new faces to the card after our first round, but we have some familiar heroes from Michigan here. Starting off with Chandler Fry. We've seen him on the channel before. Well, it was CCR last year, but we're happy to have him here at this event. He shot neg 15 in round one, tying the course record.
Awesome. Gossage, Colorado man. Neg 14 to the second round, heading this way.
Yep, Chandler trying to mess with him a little bit there, throwing his whale sack at him. And we also have local hero Willie Prince from right here in Wyoming, Michigan, neg 12, round one.
And then the man that lives right down the road, Klein from Wyoming, Michigan as well.
Man, that whale sack's making a trip around with everyone on that card. But we're off to hole one now, par 3, 274 feet, 84 meters. Where the drone's going to go in between them is not the path you're going to want to take. You want to go to the right of that tree it just passed or up and over the bushes on the left. It does bring that path into play as an OB line, but for most of these players, they have more than enough power to control that entrance.
Awesome.
Ooh, boy, I'm excited to see what's going to go on here.
All right, first on the tee, we have Chandler Fry representing Discraft. Yeah.
Chandler Fry's up first.
Chandler Fry, man. Dominant in Michigan.
Yes, sir. This card, our round one, we had 4 different companies represented. It's almost all Discraft, except for Klein and Discmania for round 2 here. And that zone's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Half power, straight down the fairway.
Yeah, Chandler can throw a disc pretty far.
Yeah.
We have Gossage.
If you've never seen him in person, he's pretty big, pretty tall.
Gossage. I've seen some unbelievable forehands from this man on coverage.
Yeah, he's probably, he does both. He's pretty well split, but he does have an elite forehand.
Especially on the distance end of things.
And in this course, an elite forehand would be very helpful, as a lot of those shot shapes will require that shot.
Representing
Absolutely.
Discraft.
We got Corn here. Willie Prince, royalty himself here in Grand Rapids, going to put it right into the center of that tree. And
What?
when you're royalty, you can just get all the breaks.
Holy cow, I cannot believe it. Good on you, Willie.
And next we have
You didn't see that guy?
Klein
I
representing
didn't see that guy. This is the first time.
I don't think I've ever seen a disc get out that quickly. Kyle Klein going with the forehand as well.
I love the forehand on this play. Hang it up wide. Usually it's a left-right wind over there pushing across the sidewalk.
So close. Almost had the second ace.
Okay, yep. I think Jacob Arvidsson had an ace on that hole.
I don't know.
There's one ace on this hole there in the tournament.
That sounds like Jacob Alverson, good forehand player. All right.
Wow.
Aaron, didn't go OB, so he's going to walk away with his birdie there. In case you weren't aware or haven't been to the channel before, name of the game is disc golf, which means you're trying to go for green squares. Green squares are good. Gray squares don't hurt you, but they don't help you either, and then red squares just hurt you. So the person with the most green squares at the end usually wins.
Gray squares still hurt on this course.
Yeah, this is kind of, like you had said it before we started commentary, it's kind of a birdie or die course. You really want to, they're all very gettable. They're all fair, but you can,
Let's make it clear. It is a high-level birdie or die course.
That's very true.
Okay. 312 feet. It's ultra windy at Brewer typically. The trees don't stop the wind, but you got multiple gaps on this hole. Sidearm, backhand. A lot of players are taking that outside gap. It's the biggest gap, so you'll see a lot of sidearms and maybe some turnover backhands.
Yeah, the turnover backhand's the play for me.
Yeah.
Kyle, I think, also prefers the backhand, and apparently Chandler does too.
You can get that soft landing. That sidearm tends to skip. The grass is dead, especially now. It has not rained very much in Michigan this year.
Yeah, round one we just got a little bit of drizzle. Not really a lot, but enough to kind of make the round a little miserable for some people.
Oh.
And so today the grass is a little greener, but it is still quite dry. You're correct. You see those brown patches. Aaron's going to hit that tree, but still be in circle.
That was a solid touch right there with that skip. Dead skip. It's the old buzz, Nate Doss buzz.
Oh, yeah, this is Willie's bread and butter. He loves this disc. He's going to flip it up, turn it over. Needs to get past that tree. Nope, he's going to hit the same one.
Little putt off.
Yep. Gonna see who can big putt who.
From inside the circle, you gotta love it.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah. Just effortless from Kyle here with his outfit on point. Love his shirt. And his throwing is on point too. He's got a CTP already for the cart.
It's not always easy to play a tournament at your home course. It really isn't.
Yeah, this is a tournament that Kyle really wants to win.
For sure.
Oh, Chandler.
In and out.
Yeah, right there. A 9 spot. Aaron with a chance to get one here. Touch low.
Gotta use the legs. Let's get it.
Yeah. A little more uphill than he thought, probably. Willie has no trouble with that. He's been here before. I wonder how many rounds Willie and Kyle collectively have at this course together.
Oh, God.
Yeah, several hundred maybe?
Several hundred, for sure. I mean, in different variations as well. This
yes.
course changes every year.
Brian Wolf told me that Kyle Klein has been around for 3 iterations of this course.
Okay, so he's played over 100 different holes at this property.
Probably, yeah. Hole 3 now, 382 feet. This is one of the more bonus birdies, as I think it plays in the top 3 of difficulty on the round for today. The drone's taking the inside gap. If you've got a straight forehand that'll fade at the very end, that's the gap you want to take. A lot of players will take the outside left gap with a turnover backhand or a hyzer forehand. It's a really big forehand if you're doing that particular play, but then it comes into this little valley, some guardian trees around the basket. You just really wanted to set it in that area. Willie's going to go with, that buzz.
Absolutely. He moves that thing down the fairway pretty quick.
Oh, my Lord.
That's so pretty.
It's nothing like a good 300 and, based on the
380.
flight, yeah, 420 turnover buzz shot. Easy. I think Kyle's going to try to match this
With a
flight
midnight
path.
prowl.
Yeah, this maybe an origin.
Yeah.
That's pretty flippy, and that's another CTP so far. We'll see if he can keep it.
2 for 2.
Chandler, this is a passion, I'm pretty sure. He's going to leave this a little inside, but he's going to split.
Did he split that gap?
He split the 2 trees over the water spigot.
He steals it.
Yeah, steals the CTP and went between the small pocket right by the brush there. So apparently that's the best gap to hit. Who knew? This is Aaron's going for the straight play here. Doesn't quite get it turned over enough. He's going to get caught early.
Always lucky to have a line out of that. That can be tough in there.
Yeah, I almost would say you prefer to be a little deep left than early right.
For sure.
Get a friendly roll. Sure.
That was ultra friendly. Still a good shot regardless.
All right. Kyle, here for his 2 look. Bang. He's what, 12 feet? 14 feet? It's pretty good.
He's been there before. It's ideal.
And he's 3 for 3, too, for the first 3 holes of the round. That is the way you want to start, especially with the next hole coming around the corner. You want to be 3 for 3 through this beginning section if you can. 2 out of 3 is fine. I don't think you're really off pace if you get 2 out of 3. But you really, getting all 3 is really helpful.
Yeah, the next hole has the most amount of variable on the course. Even if you have a great shot, there's some danger no matter what.
Great Lakes Disc, located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, is a fully stocked retail disc golf store that fulfills all of your disc golf needs. We carry all of the major manufacturers, accessories, and offer player and event sponsorship, along with tournament payout assistance. To learn more about Great Lakes Disc, visit greatlakesdisc.com.
Hole 4, one of the hardest par 5s on this side of the state as far as I know.
Yeah.
Fairway's pretty clear up here. Even if you land it in a solid place, you might not have the cleanest line. You have to play this course 10, 15 times to really figure out or dial in where you want to land and be confident with your first shot. Once you get to this spot right around here, you're going to be looking for some sort of flex over the hill to get a full flight down, or you want to lay down a roller with a semi-overstable disc so it stands up straight and rolls for quite a while. Once you get down to this green, it's not too much of an issue, but getting to the green is the hard part.
Yeah, it kind of plays as two completely separate different holes. As you mentioned, you really want to get to that Mando landing zone. That's the first shot. How far is that, 350?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
This hole was 3 holes put together.
Yes, it was.
In the past. So there was 3 different holes, and they combined them all.
Well, he's going to leak early left, but lucky for him, not going to cross the OB there.
Yep.
Or not the OB, hello. It's a Mando. There's no OB on this hole. Kyle's going to leak this one right, and he needs it pushed through. He's in the fairway at least.
Chandler Fry, another backhand. Hopefully that's overstable. Let it go on Annie.
Oh,
It
this
is.
slow down.
Whoa.
That's actually just a touch farther than you want.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what he does on the second throw, what gap he chooses.
Yep. If you hit in the right spot, there is an early inside gap you can take that gives you the opportunity for an eagle.
I like that. Oh, the footing though.
Yep. That's the tricky part, is if you don't quite get in the right spot, you're going to have to lay up, but it's whatever gets up on top of the hill. If you're on top of the hill in 2, these guys at this particular level should be able to get a birdie look.
Uphill roller's always a tough thing to do.
Yeah. I think it's safe though, because if he had thrown up over the fence, that's putting the OB in play, and this was a really good opportunity for him to not only get on top of the hill, but to kind of cut some distance too.
He could practically throw that as hard as he wanted to, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
A jump putt around the corner, that's just the way that this hole plays. You must make that corner and have a shot backwards almost up the fairway. Stand still.
Yeah.
Hard part is getting up the hill from a standstill.
Yeah, and he leaves that a little too far left. Had a chance at that early window. Probably wasn't going for the green, but was going to make it a really easy birdie if he'd hit it.
This is interesting. Okay.
Going for a roller, but misses his line, goes through all the little plinko trees, and gets way up there.
See, I thought he wanted to go around the outside gap of that island of trees,
Yeah,
so you could flex it.
He was trying.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He let go of it, and it went dead center of that side. He's like, uh-oh, and it just didn't touch a thing.
I see. That had to be an overstable. It was not.
It was a nuke, I think.
Really?
Yeah, an ESPN nuke. He just didn't quite get the angle right, so it cuts back, but he should hopefully be able to get up and down for a par from there.
It's hard to see on coverage, but these angles that these guys are attacking on are ridiculous. So this has been a struggle so far on this card for this hole, and
Yep.
we'll see how it plays out, but I expect decent scores still.
Yeah. I mean,
Scramble game.
the hole plays as the second hardest hole on the day,
Okay.
averaging 4.97, which means even if you take a par, you're really losing a stroke, not to a whole lot of people, but it's one that you definitely want to get.
Yep.
Willie going to go with the backhand here rather than the forehand. And his Buzzo West is going to land right in the circle.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Willie threed this hole during this tournament. First round.
Let me check. I can actually look that up. He sure did. He eagled this in round 1. I did not know that. That's a guy, and he's played here before. Aaron Gossage also did that. How did I not know this? I'm silly.
So 2 of these guys came into this hole feeling really good.
Yeah,
before
for sure.
this
Yeah.
The initial tee.
I mean, Aaron's close. Aaron was probably 6 feet too far from being another attempt at that eagle.
Oh my gosh.
Chandler from distance, not quite. Just a touch low. Willie has this tester for his par save. Get up. Just left. Yeah, taking a look at scores right now, it looks like there was only 1 eagle on the day in this round, and that was by David Lewis. Congrats, Dave.
Yeah, good for Dave.
That's a bonus.
Seriously.
Got just a couple tap outs here. Willie going to clean up his red square. You hate to see it, but sometimes it happens. And like you said, this is the hole where you can get an enormous number very quickly if you don't play it properly.
Yeah.
And Willie did the best he could off it. You know, his drive was a little shaky, but did the best he could to try to save it and was just a touch off.
I think taking a 4 on that hole and then heading into these 3 par 4s, which I consider momentum holes. If you're feeling good about your driving game here, these holes play relatively easy mentally. You know, there's no stress off the tee too much, and then the approach shots are relatively easy.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. This is actually played as the easiest hole in the day, 667 feet, 203 meters. Like you said, it's par 4. You really just want to get it to that wall of trees, and then if you can get it left, it opens up a more open forehand approach to this basket position. It's on a little bit of a hill, but it's mostly sandy and rooted. So usually rolls don't go too far, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah. No, the main approach shot for this hole is definitely the sidearm. You get that skip, and a lot of times it counters forwards. If it doesn't counter forward and it starts to roll back, it hits a root. The backhand side, it skips left, and it can push.
Yeah.
So you definitely want a little flick approach shot, which everybody has.
Yeah, it's also the backhand, too, if you're in that position and you take the backhand. If you throw it low, I've seen a lot of people throw it just a little early low, and it will hit an early root, and you're still in circle 2, even though the line, you had the speed, you had all that stuff, but there's no ground action to be had.
Exactly.
Couple pumps from the first 2, both getting some cabbage in the way, not quite getting as far as they wanted, but see if they can save themselves for a birdie still. Chandler here is going to put this one a little too far right.
Not exactly what he wanted. It looked like he pulled that shoulder out a little early. It looked fine, though.
Yeah.
Still got the distance he needed.
Willie is probably entertaining the idea of trying to go for a 2 here.
Full commitment. In years past, he would have went over the high left side and flexed that all the way out. He's a grown man, though. He chose the smart, wise line.
He's getting wiser with age. That's what we'll say.
We'll say that.
His royalty, his kingdom is growing.
Oh, yes.
Chandler just
Holy cow.
zipping this. So from his perspective, that tree kick right there, he thought that was much earlier, and he was grumpy that he was like, oh man, that just kept me from potentially saving the par. Walked up there, was like, oh, I'm never mind
on the next tee pad.
Yeah, he's like, I am very happy that it hit that tree.
That's pretty.
Yeah, Willie with another, nothing like a 360 buzz flat shot.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep saying that every time we start that buzz. It's just nuts.
No, it's absolutely his bread and butter. He's been doing this since he was a kid, probably the same disc.
We're not wrong. This is a really good shape for Aaron. That would have been a sick 2. Speaking of 2s, did anyone get one here? Oh, there is one. Spoiler alert. Didn't mean to spoil Kyle. I forgot he still had to throw. He's going to put this one right by the bat. Not a 2, but it's the easiest 3 you can get. We had Ryan Anderson get a 2 on this hole.
Awesome. Some new faces, getting some good scores.
Oh, Chandler just off to the right. This is a hole, like I said, the easiest hole on the day. Definitely one he wanted to get. Not going to be on his score. Not a green square for Chandler Fry this time. But Aaron's got his. Looks like Willie and Kyle are both going to clean up their green squares as well. And that'll put Kyle 4 of 5.
Yep.
That's a great start.
That's exactly what he expects. I don't think he would come to this course thinking anything else, to be honest with you.
I mean, for Kyle and Willie, guys who have played this enough, they know the 18 down is there. Mm-hmm. But, of course, doing 18 is different than knowing it's there, right?
It's a different mental game, yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, he knows he can get every hole on this course, including hole 6, 579 feet, 176. It's a matter of execution now, and in order for them to execute this hole, you got to get between these first 2 trees. Usually a backhand righty for players are going to do that. It's going to fade off left here into the landing zone. If you lay it up short, you're just past this short tee pad into the short grass. You can try to push through the kind of thicker trees on the right if you want to get some extra distance, and then from there it's an upshot. You can either choose a backhand, forehand through that wall of trees to get to this basket that's kind of quarter way up the hill.
Yeah, they're going to choose that. Typically that the 300 foot off the tee, skip left, and then the remaining 280, 270 on a sidearm.
Ooh, skinny.
Or a backhand.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Well, there's the gap that you were talking about.
Yeah,
if you push it a little too long.
Yeah, it's a Raptor. I don't think he was trying to necessarily push it too long, but, you know, when you're in the gym all the time and you pump, nah. Oh,
shoot.
No. Ooh.
Totally jinxed him. I mean, obviously this is the days after.
Right.
The way I was speaking.
I don't even know if you can get a birdie from there. It's like in a really tough spot.
The most incredible forehand roller, backhand roller combination.
Yeah, I don't know. He'll have to do something because there's a really restricted ceiling for him.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler says, hey, remember that pink force? I'm going to throw it off the 3rd tee in a row.
Get around.
Good kick. Yeah, by a tree, but he's got enough power to be able to get it up from there. All right, let's see what kind of magic Kyle's got in store for us. He's going to go up.
Is it a roller?
Oh, yeah, it is. Split those. Oh, hits one of the last big trees. I will say that in other courses, if you ever watch other tour events, because those are really popular, you watch other coverage, many of those courses have a lot of flat ground.
Yep.
I mean, just lots of green fairway. And so the rollers, you can really save yourself on a lot of shots because you can just get 450 unobstructed feet. Brewer has a lot of roots, and the ground is very uneven, and there's several trees that kind of have wall placements. So even, like, I think Kyle's roller probably would have put him in circle 2.
Yeah.
And, oh my.
Are you serious?
And Chandler's shot was not going to go in circle 2, but now it's in bullseye. But can we get another look at that? Yes, please. What just happened?
Oh, what a kiss.
I hope he hugged that tree.
Michigan loves this man.
Man, apparently. But yeah, back to the rollers. It's just they're a little harder to execute, and there's a little luck involved just because of the terrain of this particular course.
For sure, and this is one of the oldest courses in Grand Rapids, and definitely one of the most played, especially back in the day when there was 3 different courses here. The foot traffic is unbelievable, so these routes are old and exposed. And, yeah, there's no doubt.
I really like this layout. I'm not super familiar with many of the other layouts, but this one's really good.
Yeah, this one's good for sure. We'll test you. Birdie or dive for the highest level pros. When you're an AM player, this is, I mean, you shoot 8, 9, 10, you're feeling unbelievable.
Yep.
So this is fun to watch these pros shred and kind of open the eyes of people here in Grand Rapids. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, just off the top. Good bit, though.
This is when that wind, you feel the wind for the first time coming into the open field. That wind's wrapping around the hill.
Good point.
The baskets, this is the first basket out in the open after the first 5 holes.
Yeah, and it's going to only get worse because it's, like you said, you get really exposed really quickly.
Yep.
Luckily, today, it's a beautiful day. Wind is pretty mild, I would say, for Brewer.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy. You'll see the leaves moving in the background. You can see it a little bit right there, but it's really mild in what it could be, which is helpful when you get into hole 7, 613 feet, 187 meters. You have this tight gap, and it's not really that tight. You have a gap out in the fairway. It hugs the right side of the wood line. It is not OB this year.
Okay.
Which it has been in the past.
The left side is, though.
The left side is OB, but you have to really get left to do that, and you just want to land past this opening, and then from there you have a couple options, either backhand or forehand over these bushes or between the 2 bushes right where the drone just went to try to attack this gap here. The one thing you got to worry about if you take the forehand left side is there that mulberry tree. That's how you say that, right? Mulberry?
I believe so, yeah.
I'm really bad at the English language. But that mulberry tree has some really low-hanging, thick branches. So if you try to go up and over high, it'll block you.
It's a solid push.
You should just do that, though. What Aaron just did, that's real good. It gives you every option. That was a Z nuke, and this is Chandler's also Z nuke. That's exactly the same.
I see.
The only difference between them is that Chandler's is 4 foot backwards, and it's signed by all the team Discraft members.
It's going to be interesting to see what Kyle does. Does he like to keep it low and on the right side of the fairway? Is he trying to push the left side and open up a sidearm approach?
He's just trying to throw it through it.
Just trying to throw it through and get the distance?
Yep.
He'll have a nice backhand right there.
The distance I don't think it really helps a whole lot on the hole.
I don't think it helps at all, honestly.
Yeah, I think if you really pumped it up to the 2 bushes, you almost make yourself kind of have to throw under or scramble a little bit.
Because the thing is that mulberry tree hangs outside of circle over the basket of what we have here. So you have to keep it low on the approach shot, or you have to be wide enough left to let it dive in there. Maybe cut through some branches and park under the basket.
Yeah, it's just right where Aaron and Chandler are is really ideal because you get to see both avenues.
Yep.
Chandler's here is going to get a forehand, and he's throwing something stable.
That
Holy
is
smokes.
ridiculous.
I was going to say that's almost like a tilt, but it's definitely not a tilt because that's not Discraft.
Yep. So our vantage point right here, the tree on the left is actually closer than the bushes that hang out on the right side. So you want to push out left a little bit or
just go over
the top. This is the mulberry tree, though. Look at how many branches there are. It does knock you, but these guys got that putt inside circle.
Yeah, he tried to play that a little shorter so he didn't get into those branches, which is the smart play.
Yep.
I love this play from Kyle. He's added this kind of turnover
slightly nose up.
Yeah, a little forehand shot, and it shapes really well for him. He just left it a little low there. Willie trying to make some magic happen from a knee and probably from almost 80, 90 feet.
Yep.
No
It's a
luck
tough
this
shot
time.
to keep that back foot on the ground too, not foot fault, honestly.
Ooh,
Not as committed as he wants to be.
Yep. Chandler able to get his birdie. Big legs, big body, able to reach around that tree. Got Aaron here. Ooh, little high. But it went in. So it's all good.
I believe this is the second time Kyle and Aaron have battled. I think Kyle was battling Aaron at the 303 Open in Colorado on his home course earlier in the year.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Now I'm going to have to go back and see that. But I'm going to finish this first. Of course. 420, hole 8, 128. Man, it's wide open. There's OB on the left side. You can go backhand righty and try to push the tree on the right side and then have it hyzer in left so that it's wide enough so it won't skip horribly left. Or if you have the forehand power, you can pump one forehand, and then that shapes the green hill a little better.
It is wide open. I'm also just curious, what is the stat on this hole for?
That's a fair question. Hole 8, this is what we're on, right? That's pretty good. Hole 8, let me find that. That is the 7th hardest hole.
The 7th hardest hole?
Mm-hmm. And it averaged negative .15. Fun note, today, every hole averaged under par.
Of course. Birdie or die, baby.
I mean, that was not the case in round 1. Round 1, we had, let me check real quick. Round 1, we had 3 holes playing over par.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is a big swing. I mean, the weather was a big factor. Round 1, there was a little more wind and a lot of rain at the end of the day. There was rain.
I played in the rain.
Yeah. So did we.
Yep. Yeah, you were there in the rain.
I just didn't get to throw any frisbees when I did it.
No, it's not surprising that this is, I guess, the 7th hardest hole. It is surprising to a lot of people, obviously, because there's no trees in the way. Well, Willie just hit a tree, but there's no trees in the way of the like the basket. It just shows that 420 distance marker with a little bit of wind and angle control is the separator for a lot of the higher level pros versus just any regular.
Yeah, a stock hyzer that you can control. I think the big thing too for the touring pros too, really that they need to consider the most is just the green.
Yep.
It's very fast, and if you have a large edge driver, the skip is going to be enormous, which can put you in circle 2 in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
Kyle Klein trying to match Chandler's green square, and he does so beautifully.
Super smooth.
One of the more elite putters in the game. We got Willie. He's going to tap in his par after the unfortunate tree kiss in the drive. And he's going to be the only one with a gray square for this hole. And Aaron with 5 green squares in a row. That's pretty good.
That hole number 4, momentum hole.
Yeah, can he make it 6 heading into hole 9? What do we got going on here?
In years past on just Earl Grey Brewer's coverage, we've had holes like this where none of the pros birdied it.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a tough hole where the green landing anywhere, even if you feel like it's a good shot, it could end up not being a great shot.
Amen.
So, honestly, we'll just see how this plays out. There's nothing that we can really predict.
Yeah, the forehand is the better play for the green, but there's a small tree in the way from you being able to kind of take that gap.
So he parks it. Awesome.
Yeah, that's the best grounds play I've ever seen on that hole.
Oh, I
probably.
swear. Because typically you're going to see that get up on its rim and then roll under the branches on the tree on the left.
And that's the thing, because the forehand also keeps it away from those branches.
Yep.
I'm shocked to not see more backhand hyzers be wider.
And
We just said it. As it catches an edge, gets closer. He's in front of it at least.
Yep, just good speed control.
But I'm surprised that they go farther right and just be in the same position as that branch, but wide open on the right in that long grass.
Here's the course pro.
This has got to settle. This looks like it's fast, yeah. Stop.
There's the roll.
Stop.
Every time.
Yeah.
Tough.
Except Aaron.
Except Aaron. He's used to playing in the mountains potentially.
Yeah, that's very true. Willie's going to try to go for more of a spike play here. Almost hitting donut in the process. It's going to also catch edge, and it's going to find himself in that bush. Kyle was over there yesterday, wasn't able to save the birdie. I think he's in a little better position today. We're going to see if either he or Willie can get this.
So this hole in review, every time the drive lands, it's going to roll to the left, depends on how far.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can be just like 2 feet from the basket when it looks like it has no speed, and you'll still find yourself 40 feet. And Kyle, just off the band.
Come on.
So close there. Chandler here.
He's level. He's not really worried about the back. He should commit.
Yeah.
Solid.
And it's a huge advantage being level with the basket here.
Yeah. You didn't putting down on this one will cost you. You'll have a 40-footer on the way back.
Yeah, we saw Luke Taylor do that on.
Oh,
Well,
really?
he didn't have a 40-footer, but we saw Luke Taylor miss the basket going downhill, and then he ended up missing his putt going back uphill.
Yep.
I think if I had if I had to choose between the two, I'd rather putt uphill on this though. If I
For sure.
I'd rather be a little deep and right, because that is a putt that if I miss it, it's going to be 10 feet from the basket at worst.
Deep and right, landing there off the drive is going to feel like a bad drive, but that's if you're going to study this hole and commit
Yeah.
to it, that's what you're going to have to get used to.
Yeah, that's totally. I mean, unless you're Aaron, then you can just do exactly what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, so take notes, throw that disc, whatever I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, throw that disc. Look at all those green squares on this card. Willie kind of hitting a stall here. Klein not hitting some of those holes that he really wants to, but there's lots of opportunities for birdies on the back. Thanks, Clayton, for joining me on this Front 9 coverage, and thank you to the Patreon family. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that little notification bell so that when the next round pops up, you can watch it.
Thank you for having me.